for the top of the hour, Friday edition of the Leach Report, the eve of the Belmont Stakes, third leg of the Triple Crown. It's coming up tomorrow at Belmont Park in New York. It's been sultry in New York this week, but the heat's supposed to break today and should be actually in the 70s tomorrow, but perhaps an off track for the Belmont. We're going to spend the next couple of segments talking about the race, and joining us on this particular segment is John Cox, and he is the author of the sportofkings.com blog about thoroughbred racing. It's sport-of-kings.com. John, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Tom. How's it going?
Just fine. I know you've been around the industry through a family business. You'll see John's family's work at, if you ever go to the sales, see the signs on a lot of the barns. But tell me what motivated you to start the sportofkings.com blog.
Well, I just kind of had the idea for a while, and I kind of wanted to reach out to my friends and, just people that lived in Lexington but weren't too familiar with the industry as much, to just try to spark some new fans and some new enthusiasm on just American thoroughbred racing and all aspects of the industry, as well as breeding and sales, etc. So
there are some selections on the blog if you're playing the races this weekend up at Belmont. That and we'll talk a little bit more specifically about maybe a pick for the race before we let John go. But one of the things that I like that you're doing is doing some interviews with some of the connections of the horses, and I think a lot of times maybe the owners or trainers are a little less guarded from somebody that is just getting started with an entity like this, as opposed to maybe one of the national media folks, and they're going to be more guarded. So any particular interesting tidbits you picked up in the last week or two as you've done stories with connections of the Belmont Stakes horses?
Well, I had a chance to talk to Dale Romans, the trainer of Preakness winner Shackleford, and I guess trainers and owners are all pretty much doing the best they can to prepare their horse for the race, and that's what they're going to tell you. But I just kind of talked about Shackleford and the race, and it is another quarter of a mile longer than the Derby, and a quarter or five furlongs. A little longer than the Preakness as well. So I kind of asked Dale what he was going to do to try to keep Shackleford off the early speed there, because he is going to be the pace setter. But he pretty much explained that you're not going to take a horse like that off the early pace. He's going to be there, and they just kind of hope that he has enough energy to finish it out in that final couple furlongs. So it should be a great race. I'm excited. Also talked to Craig Vandroff, who raised Animal Kingdom out at his farm, and he was headed up to the Belmont 2 days ago when I talked to him, and he seemed very excited, very optimistic about their horse's chances as well. So it could be a fun race for sure.
You talked to the Reeves, Patty and Dean Reeves. They own Mucho Macho Man,
right.
Of course, that was getting a lot of pub around the Derby, and not so much as we come up to the Belmont.
Right, yeah. I actually talked to Dean, and he said that kind of wanted to change the jockey. They had Rajiv Mirage on there, and they switched to Ramon Dominguez.
Did he talk about why was it just kind of looking for something to spark the horse, or was there a specific reason?
Pretty much, yeah. That was it. He said their whole team meets after each race, and they just kind of want to do something different. He finished third in the Derby, and then they were kind of, I guess, a little disappointed with the sixth place in the Preakness. So, he's doing all he can, and they're very optimistic as well. Like I said, these people are just putting their horses in the best position possible for them to win the race, and just the fact that they're there is, enough to give you confidence. So.
Well, tell us how you see the race unfolding tomorrow.
Well, I do like all three of the horses I've just talked about, Animal Kingdom, Shackleford, and Mucho Macho Man. I like them all to be there late, but I'm going to have to take Nero. He finished second in the Derby, second in the Arkansas Derby, and second in the Louisiana Derby. And he was showing late speed on all three of those races, and he's had he didn't run in the Preakness, so he's had his 5 weeks off since the Derby. So I like him to be there late, but Animal Kingdom's going to be there, and I expect Mucho Macho Man and Shackleford not too far behind. So
it's sport-of-kings.com. There's a link at the top that says I'm a rookie. So if you don't know much about the game and just want to get some of the basics, you can click there and find some links to understand more about it, and then you can read the stories that we've been talking about with John Cox, sportofkings.com. Best of luck with it, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot, Tom. I appreciate it.
That's John Cox. We appreciate the time. And